Hi, this is Michael from binarycafe.com with another Brainy Face Project video. This one's coming from the studio today. This is episode number 4 in the HX300 Expert Series, and this video focuses on playback of your still images and movies, as well as how to extract a single frame from a movie so you can make a picture out of a frame from a movie, as well as protecting your images against accidental erasure. So let's go ahead and get started. When you want to review your photos, instead of actually turning the camera on, what you can do is you can just press the playback button here. So I'm just going to go ahead and press play on the back of the camera. And when I do that, it's going to pull up the last image that I took, or if I was reviewing my photos from a prior time, it'll actually pull one of those up as well. I've got some basic information on the screen here, and I can see that in this mode, I've got my battery life, I've got the size of the image, including both the aspect ratio. This is 4:3, the size of the image, and then how many pictures are on the memory card. But then I also have the folder, the image number as recorded by the camera, and the date and the time. And if I want to, I can change the display information, and I can do that by pressing up. I've got 3 different modes here. I can do the standard information on the screen, or if I want to, and that goes off after a second, I wasn't talking fast enough, but if I press up and then I go here to detailed info, I actually have a bunch more information that I can see about the image. And right here on the top of the screen, I've got different icons. And this one right here, the little lightning bolt with the line around it, or the circle around and the line through it, means that I did not use the flash when I took this image. So no flash was used. I had auto white balance selected. It shows me the ISO that was used by the camera. It actually shows me the speed of the shutter. It shows me the exposure value if I had made an adjustment, and then it will also show me here the aperture, or f-stop here. So I've got the basic information about the image right there on the right hand side in this mode, and then I also have a histogram, and that histogram allows me to see a distribution of the light and dark pixels as recorded in that image. Now that's everything about this image. When I'm reviewing my photos, I tend to turn off my display, and I just can see the beautiful picture up there on the screen all by itself. So if I want to now, I can navigate left and right to take a look at different pictures. And if I press to the right, and let me go ahead and turn on the basic information again. So as I press to the right, it's going to move closer towards today's date. If I move back, it's going to take me back to older pictures. So I'm moving forward here. These pictures were taken down in the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful down there. And as I scroll through these, I may get to a picture where I want to start to manipulate this image and actually take a look at it in a little bit more detail, which I can do. I love this camera on a beach or outdoors because I have the 1200mm zoom, and this picture was taken from quite far away. I got the surfer on the wave, and if I want to, I can zoom in to see that surfer a little bit more closely. And the way that I do that is by using this little lever here. And I can zoom in by pressing to the right, and I can zoom out by pressing to the left. So when I press to the right, I'm just going like that, what happens is it shows me a little proxy window. I've got a thumbnail version, but there's a white rectangle around that thumbnail, and what that means is that's how much I've zoomed in. Right now it's showing me the whole thumbnail, but as I move to the right, I'm just going to press to the right. Notice that that changes. The rectangle is getting smaller because I'm zooming in on the content on the screen. And as I zoom in, I'm going to push that surfer right out of frame, but I can easily change that by using the little dial on the back here. I can press up, down, left, or right, and if I press up, I can see that I can move the image in the window, and I can actually get it positioned the way that I want it. I can zoom in quite a bit and continue to do that. If I want to, I can zoom out as well, and I can manipulate the image. This is really cool when you're at a sporting event or outdoors and you want to read something. If you're in a skyscraper, you can zoom in, take a picture, and then right on the screen you can zoom in even more. If you want to cancel the zoom, you just press the center button right there, and that cancels your zoom and returns you to the standard image. So really cool to be able to zoom in and zoom out, but you may want to navigate between lots of different pictures and find them quickly. So here's a way that you can do that. Once you've zoomed out and I'm just looking at the picture itself, if you press to the left, what's going to happen is it's going to take you to a screen where it shows you little thumbnail versions of the pictures that you've taken. By the way, movies are indicated with little film strips. So if I take a look at the different pictures that I've taken, some of those are actually going to have a little film strip icon on the left-hand side and right-hand side, and that indicates, like that one right there, that that is a movie clip. So if I want to, I can go through those images, and when I highlight one of those thumbnails in the gold rectangle, I can then just click on it and I can take a look at that image. I can click to the left on the lever and that zooms me out, and if I want to, I can change the size of the thumbnail. I can make it even smaller by pressing to the left again, and that's going to reduce the size of the thumbnails. The date's displayed up here on the top, and then I can also, if I want to, navigate quickly between dates by moving over here to the left. And when the scroll bar is highlighted, now when I press up, I can see that it jumps me to a previous date. So I can jump quickly between dates just by using that scroll bar on the left hand side. And if I want to, then I can go to a particular image and then just pull it up. I'll just go down here to one of these, and I can pull it up and I can see it very quickly, just like that. Now another thing I can do is I can actually jump to a particular date. Like if I had a picture that I took on December 14th as an example, and I wanted to jump to that quickly, if I zoom out, I just have to press left a couple of times. Press left, gets me to that screen. Yep, we've seen that before. Press left again. Yep, makes the icon smaller. But now when I press left, watch what happens. It actually takes me to a calendar. And this calendar indicates whether or not there were pictures or movies taken on a particular date. If they don't have anything on them, if they're white, that means that you didn't take any images that particular day. But if you see a little thumbnail that has an image on it, that means there are pictures, at least one, or movies on that date. And I'm going to navigate to December. This number right here indicates the number of the month. That doesn't mean November 11th, it means it's the 11th month, so 11 November, that's kind of redundant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate over here to highlight that little downward arrow, and then I'm going to press OK, and it's going to jump me to December. And then if I want to, I can jump over here to the calendar by pressing left, and I can navigate to a particular date, like I've got the 14th highlighted now. And then I can press OK, and it is going to show me all of the images and movies that were taken on that particular date. And I can click on it again if I want to zoom in on that image. But let me go ahead, I'm going to zoom out, and let's jump back to November. And I'm going to go up here to November 3rd, and I think I've got a movie here. I want to show you a movie that was taken. And when I want to play a movie, all I need to do is just click on that icon. It's going to pull up a version, the first frame of that movie. And now I can play it by pressing on the center button. And when I press the center button, it's going to start playing that movie clip. And while that movie clip is playing, I can press down to pull up a control panel, and that allows me to fast forward or rewind. Like I can rewind back here towards the beginning of the clip. I can move back and I can press play. I can even pause on a particular frame if I want to. So I can do my fast forward, I can do my rewind, I can jump back to the beginning or go to the end of the clip. But if I press play, let's just let this play out for a second, and I think I had some volume, so I'm going to move over towards the right, highlight that, and increase the volume here. You can barely hear it because it's a small speaker on the camera, but you can change the volume. Oh, it's so nice, the sound of the waves crashing in. But if you're in a public place, you can also turn that volume down very quickly too by just going to the left. I'm going to leave that up for now, and I'm going to pause on that image. And the reason I'm pausing on this image is because I want to make a still frame picture out of that frame of the video. And I can do this from the control panel. Once you pause that image, you can go over here, and it looks like a little movie clip being converted to a single picture, and that's exactly what happens. So if I click on that, it's going to say recording, and it just takes a second. And what it's done now is it's actually created a still picture out of that frame of the video. And I'm going to press to the left here, I'm going to zoom out, and I can see now that I have my original image, which is the movie, and then over here on the right I've got a still frame that I just created by going in and capturing that particular frame out of the movie. So that is really cool, and I think I'll go ahead here and jump to a different date, and I'm going to do one here of this just to show you again. Got the sunrise in this case. Change the volume, increase that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and wait till I get to a particular spot that I like. I'm going to wait for the city to come in here in the distance. I was panning the video, and I'll pause, and then I'll just go over here and I'll click on that icon. It says recording. Let's take a look, see if it worked. I zoom out, and what do I have here? I've got the original movie, but now to the right of that, I've got a still frame picture extracted from that movie. So that's really, really cool. Now let's say I want to protect this image. Usually I can delete. If I want to, I could delete. I'll just go ahead and press the question mark. It's got a little trash icon right next to it. But if I press on that, it says, what do you want to do? Do you want to delete this image, multiple images, all images on this date? Those scare me. I don't like deleting multiple images on the camera. Memory is cheap. I tend to keep those images myself, but you know what usually happens. You take a picture of somebody and they'll say, oh, you need to delete that image right now. And they like want to watch you delete it because they're scared that it was a bad picture. Well, you can delete an image. If I go ahead and say delete this image, bam, that image is gone. So I'm going to go back. It would be easy for me to recreate that one because I just created it from the movie, but just to save time here, just to demonstrate, I've got another image here right next to it. Let's say that I wanted to protect my image. All I need to do is when I have an image up on the screen is I press menu, and then what I can do is go down here, just scroll down through this menu, and I've got a protect feature. And when I go to protect, what I can do is I can click, and now this image has a little key on the image. And watch what happens when I go in and try to delete this image. I go and I say delete this image, and it says file protected. So if you get a picture that you really, really like and you don't want to accidentally delete it, or have somebody go to delete a picture of themselves and then they accidentally delete a bunch of pictures, you can protect it just by going into menu, and you can protect your images that way. Okay, let me just go up to the top here. I can start a slideshow. And let me go ahead and choose menu, and we'll just do continuous playback, and let's see what happens now. See, it's just going through the images here. I've got the information on the screen that says continuous playback. If I press up and go to display setting off, then it's going to turn that off. And what it'll do is it'll actually cycle through all of the pictures and the video clips as well. And it's just going to play through all of those sequentially. So if you wanted to stop that, I can just go ahead here and press the center button, and it's going to stop. What I can do is I can go into menu, and I can scroll down here, and I can change the view mode. And if I go to view mode, it has the date view, and then it has folder view for still. It has MP4 and AVCHD. So if I wanted to play my movies, you have a couple different ways that you can record movies on this camera. You can do AVCHD high def, you can do MP4 as well, but I can change the view to say only show me the still pictures. And when I do that, it filters out and shows me only the still pictures in the folder that's selected. And now when I go to menu and I scroll up, I can go to the slideshow and I can click OK. Now what's going to happen is it's going to go through and it's going to show me all of those pictures, but it's not going to play back the movies. And that's nice because I may just not want to play back those long movie clips. That takes up a lot of battery on the camera. So that's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And for right now, that's basically what I wanted to show you, is how to do a review of your movies and also your still pictures on the camera. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.